Hey everyone, today I'm going to be talking to you about how to properly handle your crested geckos. Crested geckos are brilliant little pets, but they can be very fast and they can jump pretty far, so I'd always suggest if it's your first time handling your pet, make sure to have someone else there, just so if they get on your back or up on your shoulders, you've got someone else to grab them for you. When handling crested geckos, I tend to use three main methods. I can loop them, I can do a conveyor belt, or I can just pick them straight up. Here I'm demonstrating the conveyor belt. It's basically where you put a hand in front of them, they'll walk onto it, and then you put your other hand in front of that hand, so even though they feel like they're walking really far, they're really not getting anywhere. The upside of this method is that they can get lots of exercise while moving in a very small space, whereas the downside is if they suddenly decide they want to go backwards, or they want to go to the left or right instead of straight ahead, you have to react quickly so that they don't fall off. If you're not yet very confident handling your crested gecko, make sure to handle them over a small flat space or a container, so that if they do start getting away from you, you can just put them back down, you can put the lid in the container and they won't escape. This is what I call looping the crested gecko. You make a loop with your forefinger and your thumb, or your middle finger and your thumb if you need a bigger loop, and you just put it near their head and they'll walk through it, and that way you can lift your hand and reposition them however you want. This is my preferred method of moving around my cresties because they can't turn left and right when they're already looped, and I've got more of a secure hold on them that if they were to suddenly try to jump, I could close my hand to stop them escaping if necessary. Your final option is to just pick your gecko up. If your gecko is on a flat surface and you want to pick them up, you can either gently touch the backs of their legs to get them to walk onto an upturned hand, or you can pick them up kind of like you pick up a gerbil or a small hamster. You gently put your hands just behind their front legs and you scoop underneath. Make sure not to just squeeze their ribs because you can very easily break them because they're very thin. I will suggest that if you are using this method to put your second hand in front of your gecko like this, so that if they do get a fright, that she will jump forward and be on your other hand instead, and either way you'll still have picked her up. Cresties are brilliant pets and can be handled relatively frequently, but if this is a new pet that you've just recently gotten, make sure to give it time to settle in. Handling can cause unnecessary stress, and it can stop the gecko from settling into the environment that you're trying to put them in, like their new viv or their new tub. Some cresties can take a few days to settle in, whereas others can have upwards to several months to properly settle in, depending on how frequently they were handled before you got them. So make sure to just give them the amount of time they need and never try to force handling on them because they're not going to take it well and they could potentially drop their tail. And crested geckos do not grow back their tail after they're dropped. They end up with little frog butts. I do not suggest handling very young crested geckos or babies because they're so tiny and so fragile that if they jumped off your hand and your natural instinct is to reach out and grab them, you could potentially crush them or break something, or make them drop their tail, and in the end it ends up causing more damage than good. However, when you get used to handling them, they're an absolute pleasure to take out. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I've helped a few of you out. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like or subscribe, and if you have any questions, comment below. Thank you for watching.